Hey, I know you guys have been working in chapter 21, getting all of your credit established for your corporations. Okay, so if you're getting this recording, then congratulations to you. You have completely finished your corporate setup. You've got your corporate kit, you've got all of your documentation, your certificate of incorporation, or you could at least go online and download a copy of it. And I just want to personally congratulate you. These are tips that I offer to people who have completed their incorporation. You have to have already completed your incorporating, and you have to be a member. In other words, you have to be someone that's taking the course. You've enrolled in the course, you registered for the course, you pay your fees for the course. These tips are exclusive for you guys. And if you notice, well, you would know, but I'm sending out more and more and more of these because more and more and more of you are being added to the list. I pray next week we're going to have a special guest from California. It's one of my clients. He is a contractor. He purchased his first Alabama investment property. He's coming here next week to make a visit and to do a lot of the work on the property to fix it up. Now, we're going to do an exclusive for you guys as well, because he's going to walk you through some tips, because this is not his first rodeo. He's had a vested interest in a huge nursing home that he bought. He was one of the investors. They fixed it up, and they owned it for several years. So he's going to talk to you about what we walked through to get him this property. And we're going to just sort of show you some of the details of how we have fixed this thing up. I am really fighting for you guys. This is I can't even explain what this is all about on my insides. This is not just a job for me. This is like one of my life assignments that I feel intensely driven to complete, to do well for you, and to also fulfill that fire that's on the passion that's on the inside of me to complete this. So I wanted to come on. So I'm going to have to do different things like this to add, because most of you are only taking the course once a week, which is definitely not enough time for all of the information that you need. Also, I want to share something else with you. The book, while the book has a lot of information, I reserved a lot of information. So I refrained from putting a lot of information in this book, Easy Corporate Comprehensive Curriculum for New Business Owners. And I think most of you have this book. If you don't have this book, it's going to make it easier for you to take the course if you have the actual hard copy book. You can mark it up, you can make notes, because there are things in here that are going to consistently change. They're going to modify, and you want to be able to make notes. Also, if you guys haven't gotten this book, titled Abstracting Made Simple, it's a pathway to limited path franchising success, you want to get this. And I tell you why. There is a segment in here in the back in chapter 11 that explains to you about the process of establishing yourself as a limited franchise. I explained to you the whole concept of limited franchising, which you may not find in very many places. But this book talks to you about the opportunity, the limited franchising opportunity that we offer through our company. We've been doing it for years. We started back in Warner Robins when we extended a limited franchise opportunity to someone, and we've been doing it ever since then. So we've got people in Warner Robins, Georgia. We've got people down in Thomasville and various places in Alabama and in other states where we have extended limited franchising opportunities, and they've taken advantage of it and are rolling with it. Okay. But we want to show you how to do this in your corporation. That's why I need you guys to get established, but not just get established. I need you to get further down the road so that you can begin to see the benefits. You can see the fruits of what it is that you're doing. And then you can start to teach others to do what it is that you're doing, and they can become limited franchise units of what you're doing. Yeah. And that's what I want to teach you. But first, we got to get through all of this, because if you try to do it now without having the foundation, it's going to backfire on you in the most horrific way. So there's some legalities that you got to understand in just setting up your company. Here's something I want to tell you that's not in the book. So we talk about setting up all of your business credit, including your Dun & Bradstreet, and that's good. And we talk about you getting set up with your credit cards. I want to make sure that you guys take advantage of credit suites and go in there and get as many of those business credit cards as you can, because what you're doing is you're going to get yourself in a position where you can cash out up to $100,000 with those credit cards. Now, I'm explaining to you what you're going to do with the $100,000. You're not going to spend it. I'm going to show you how to get a bond. You're going to get a bond that will insure that money. And what happens is with the bond, the amount of bond that you buy, let's say you buy a $500,000 bond, but you got like maybe $50,000 in credit card cash that you've actually cashed. You can either cash it out or you can list it as a cash asset, the amount of cash that's available to you. But you got to get up to at least $50,000. If you get up to $100,000, you can actually get $1 million bond. Now, on your financial statement, you're going to show the amount of that bond as being a part, yes, of your financial network. Yes. And it will be considered an asset. That's going to boost the value of your company's assets and its bottom line net worth, which will put you in a position to purchase not just real estate, single family units, but you can purchase single family units up to 4 units. Yeah. Single family dwellings up to 4 units. And you can actually move into, if you've got that $1 million bond, into the commercial units, which will be 5 units or more. Yes. Just by getting that bond that will increase the value, because they're going to base it on the value of the end value of the bond. So when you purchase the bond, you're going to be paying on it. You'll be paying a small amount. It's like an insurance bond. But the issue is that once you start paying on it, it automatically gains value because it is alive. You just created a being, a valuable being. Yes, so I want to teach you that. But before we can get to that point, Dun & Bradstreet is good. But Dun & Bradstreet is generally going to get you, it shows that you get good, you pay your bills on time and that you're credible, that you're a viable entity. Yes. And it will help you get credit cards, up to $10,000, each. You can get a line of credit for up to $10,000, which is excellent because you're trying to get to that $50,000 or $100,000 mark. Okay. Yes. But I want to mention to you, and I didn't put it in the book intentionally because I reserve these things for people who actually take the class. That's why I keep making sure that you come to the class, because I'm not always going to be able to do these recordings. I'm going to do the best I can to get them to you because I'm trying to get this information to you. But if you show up to class, you'll get it. The reason why Dun & Bradstreet is a little different is because you're looking to get a Paydex score of at least 80 or higher if you're a business owner. Now we're talking about for the corporation. You need a Paydex score, like your score as an individual on your credit report. But this is your Paydex. You want to get it at least up to 80 or higher. And it's easier to do that if you go to the Experian business. I wanted you to get it set up with Dun & Bradstreet because Experian is going to check your Dun & Bradstreet to make sure that you are a viable entity. They're going to check your withholding account to make sure that you are a viable entity, because there are some companies that don't have those things established and they're not really considered viable. So that's why I told you to go ahead and set those things up. Go ahead and get in credit suites and begin to get those credit cards. As many of those credit builders that don't have the high interest rate where you're not being exploited, so that you can begin to build your credit line. And I can tell you Credit One is, to me, almost trash, but here's what they will do. If you keep a low balance or a mid-range balance, let's say you have a credit line of $1,000 and you keep your balance around $500 or less, they're going to keep on upping the ante. Before you know it, they'll be offering you $10,000 in the credit line. You can either accept it or decline it. But remember, what you're trying to do is get as close to $100,000 in credit cards as you can. Now, you're not going to use the credit cards. You're going to keep the balance low. You're not going to use it. And I'm going to show you how you can then take the cash advance that's available to you and leverage it by buying a bond to insure it. And the bond will be more valuable than the cash that you have. You're going to leverage that cash by using a bond. Yes, you're going to insure it. And when you insure it, then all of a sudden on your financial statement, the value will be and the amount of the insurance that you have taken out on the amount of money that you have gleaned from the cash advances from the credit cards. But I'll give you more details on that. I'm just giving you a general idea. So that Paydex score of 80 for your company, that's what you're trying to get. It's easier to get the older your company is, but you can get it immediately by having your withholding set up, having all of your other tax accounts set up, by having your Dun & Bradstreet set up, getting in Credit Suites and Credible, and going on and establishing those accounts, eCredible and those other accounts that I put in the book for you to be able. Go ahead and set those things up, because they're establishing you so that you can then go over to Experian Business. And what happens with Experience Business is they start to extend you to higher credit markets. Yeah, they're going to begin to show you a larger trade markets. That's going to open you up to make it easier for you to purchase real estate. So even though a Paydex is a Dun & Bradstreet score, Experian has its own business credit scoring system, and it's called the Intellis score. So when you look at that Intellis score on Experian, it can go as high as 76. Matter of fact, it starts at 76. So it starts higher or a little bit lower, but it goes higher than what Dun & Bradstreet would go. So if you have them both, then Experian can expose you to higher trade accounts. It's late. It's almost 10 o'clock. So y'all forgive me if I'm trying to be as clear as I can with this information, but I needed to get it out to you before I went to sleep tonight, because tomorrow I'm going to be working on bigger and better and higher and greater things. And I didn't want to miss this opportunity to let you know that you now, if you got your Dun & Bradstreet done, let's move on over to Experian Business. You want to go to experience.com/business, and you want to begin to establish your business account with them. Now, there is a monthly fee that you'll have to pay with them, but let me tell you something, it's going to be worth it, because as you pay that monthly fee, they're going to help you increase your Paydex score to the point that it will open you up to larger trade lines. You guys are young and you've got the energy to get this done. Not to say that someone older would not have the energy to get it done, but I'm saying to you that you've got a whole line of years in business planning and projections that are waiting for you. You've set them up, and now it's time to go get them. And this is a way for you to start. Okay, we're going to go over some more information. I just wanted to say that part to you. Some other things that I want to say to you is, you want to get your company to a certain point to where we can now get you into a boutique. So now a boutique is like those little companies. They're real small, but what they do is they raise capital for C corporations. They raise capital for C corporations. So how they do it is they invite people to begin to buy stock in your company. Yeah, so you may not even be on the stock exchange. You may not be publicly traded. But if we can get your value by using that bond to leverage the cash that you do have, when you do that, then we raise the value of your net worth on your financial statement, and we can get you into the boutiques, and they can start to trade your stock. Even though it's not publicly traded, they can get people to invest in your company and purchase stock, and you don't owe them anything, especially if you have common stock. All you owe yourself is to prosper, and as you prosper, they will prosper. Does that make sense? Because you're adding value to them simply because they own stock in your company, which now you have leveraged the value of by ensuring the cash that we're going to help you to accumulate through these cards that you're going to be getting the cash advance on. And you're not going to use the cards at all until it's time for us to utilize the cash advances. And then I'm going to show you how to leverage those funds by insuring them with a bond. Yeah, and that bond is what you're going to use in your financial statement. You're going to be able to utilize it in your safety deposit, in your box, bank, and it's going to shoot the value of your company up and raise the value of your company and invite others to want to come in and to purchase stock in your company. Yes, I'm excited. Okay. So these are things that you're not going to find in the book. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to show you how to write a private placement memorandum. Just a few things to help get you to a certain point. And then we're going to find some companies that are within our network that are going to write you a letter of intent. That letter of intent is going to state that they intend to contract with you a certain amount of business over a certain period of time. That's also going to add value to the bottom line of your financial statement. Okay, well, we're going to stop right here. But these are some bits that you get for being a member, taking the classes, and for having completed all of your corporate work. I'm so excited. I am so excited, and I'm so proud of you. So proud. So stay tuned next week. Prayerfully, we'll be able to get a video in with my client that's flying in from California to see his property that he purchased. Sometimes when he's working on the property, prayerfully, I'm having a procedure done next week, but we're going to get these videos one way or the other. Either one of y'all going to help me because you love me, or I'm going to get it done and I'm going to share it with you guys. Okay. I'm excited. That's really all I wanted to go over with you. And I want to remind you that you have done a great work, and this is just the beginning for you. Fly high and walk heavy. Blessings.